a lot, you might relate to the experience of being given books for every holiday or birthday. In the past, if the book I've been given isn't immediately up my alley, I'll shelve it sometimes for months or years, only to realize that it's an amazing read once I finally get to it. This year, I decided to stop shelving these books and prioritize them instead. So I thought I'd talk about two of these books. Two books that I really enjoyed, but might not necessarily have picked out on my own at the bookstore. The first is Flesh by David Saloy, winner of the 2025 Booker Prize. This book has been described as being about masculinity and male alienation, which isn't an intuitive match for me because I often read books written by or about women. But I'm so glad I read this one. In Flesh, we follow the winding life of a Hungarian man named István. This is a life where István's pain and complexes lie just beneath the surface, informing almost everything he does. But István never really looks at or acknowledges his pain. This is an unexamined life. This book opens in István's early adolescence, and we follow a very disturbing sequence of events involving a much older woman. It's written in extremely spare, repetitive prose. If I'm being honest, based on the way this book opens, I wasn't totally sure I was going to be able to make it through, but I'm so glad I stuck with it. By the end, I found myself very moved by István, and his presence lingered in my mind long after I finished the book. Next up, Good Material by Dolly Alderton. This book follows a breakup between a failing comedian Andy and his now ex-girlfriend Jen. I typically don't read books that are mostly about a romantic relationship, but I was completely engrossed in this one. If I could sum up Good Material in a phrase, I'd say that this book is emotionally intelligent. Good Material has a lot to say about how men and women navigate relationships and breakups differently and what leads them to make these different choices. Andy, the protagonist, is kind of insufferable, but that's also kind of the point. His crash out felt so true to life, and I definitely recognized his cringy behavior from some of my own experiences. Hearing Jen's perspective at the end really illuminated this book for me and moved it from a funny, interesting read to one with a lot of depth and a lot to say. I loved it, and I'm definitely going to read more of Dolly Alderton. These are two very different books, but interestingly enough, they both have a lot to say about gender roles in society. I'd wholeheartedly recommend both, as well as the practice of getting out of your reading comfort zone.